Neighbor is a new ministry that was created specifically to minister to families and kids on the west side of Greenville.
It actually focuses on the family and reaching the family and transforming it with the gospel because the neighborhood itself is relatively unreached.
Neighbor to Neighbor is a day camp for 1st through 6th graders, but we are very intentionally focused on the Bible and sharing the gospel.
What we wanted to do as a body was to reach the kids on the West End because we noticed that there was a higher rate of, adversity for them.
Neighbor to Neighbor is a way to reach people that we wouldn't normally have a connection with and build relationships with them and hopefully connect them with the church.
The idea is to bring the gospel to the west side of Greenville. It's kind of like the big picture.
We saw a need, we wanted to start something, and so we started Neighbor to Neighbor.
Neighbor to Neighbor is a partnership. It's a partnership between churches, Greenville Alliance Church, Crossroads Church, and Fresh Ground, Downtown Ministries. A partnership of like-minded people who had a real desire to see the gospel go forth into communities that seem to be untouched by the gospel, or certainly were not known by us as churches and ministries. And so we partnered together to just begin to develop relationships with people that we normally maybe wouldn't have run into.
What we did to reach the community is we set up this day camp so these families could send their kids to the camp.
What our team has done is created a summer-long day camp, Tuesday through Friday, that it's a way to get kids kind of out of the house, doing something off the streets for the summer.
During those day camps, we break the kids up between 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th graders, with 2 teachers over each group. And within there, we teach Bible, we teach them developmental assets, we have crafts.
We also, on Thursday nights, we go out and visit their families then, because even working with the kids, we sort of build those relationships in hopes of building deeper relationships with their family as a whole.
Sometimes when they drop their kids off, we've had chances to pray with them.
We minister to the parents, get to know them, be their neighbor. This is called Neighbor to Neighbor because we're not above them, we're not below them, we're not saviors on the west side, we're here to love our neighbors.
There's a real emphasis to touch the lives of those younger kids, and through them to touch the families as well, to bring about a sense of community.
When they first came, it was just a regular old day camp, and they were having lots of fun, and they still have lots of fun. But it's been impressive in the fact that they love us so much. And that's just a testament to how God has equipped us to work with these kids, because they just love us and we love them.
I've developed a true love for my town and this neighborhood. These kids have melted my heart. Saying goodbye is going to be rough.
And many of our churches have children's programs, and when we see the youth that are in these pockets of neighborhoods, it's only a calling for us to be involved, to reach out to them and have the kids be involved in those ministries because there's so little for the youth of Greenville.
This has connected a lot of community members to a community that they don't know anything about, and that was my whole goal.
One of the parents expressed that before the beginning of the summer she didn't really talk to or know her neighbors, but now, you know, somebody drives down the road and sees her and waves, just because like there's, in some ways it's really connected the community.
This summer has given me, I think, an incredible perspective. Mainly that it's not about me. That doing things to grow the kingdom and just for the sake of loving people with God's love is just what should be driving us in everything that we do.
This is a new experience for me, being part of Neighbor to Neighbor. So it's really kind of developed my trust in God.
You don't always realize how present God is in the small things. And that's probably the biggest thing I've learned is that even in the smallest details of life, God is still there.
There's power in the gospel. And the change I've experienced is witnessing that firsthand, I think. The idea was to reflect Christ's love to them, because we didn't want to be shy about that.
Sharing God's love doesn't have to look a certain way, and being successful doesn't have to look a certain way, because if I'm doing things for the glory of God, then that's what's most important. And so being part of Neighbor to Neighbor has forced me to get up every day and think not about myself.
This summer has been so great, and I couldn't have asked for a better summer.
If there are college students out there, especially Christian college students who say, I'm looking at my summer coming up next year and I'm wondering, what should I do? What should I do? Okay, I need to make money for school. We understand that school's expensive, but I would really like to somehow come away and help society, be a part of something that's big and important, and serve the Lord in some way. I would encourage you to think about Neighbor to Neighbor.
People need to do it because God has called us to go into our Judea and Jerusalem, and we are called to fulfill that commission.